produce. I mean, not producing anything or whatever. So that would be unfair.
So, in regards to that math, when I was looking, so the House passed this 47-3, and or was it the House or was it the Senate? Excuse me, the Senate passed it 47-3. Now the Senate has 10 Democrats in it, so there were 7 Democrats that voted for this to pass. And then the House passed it 78-1. The only one that voted against it was Reagan Hatcher. And I believe there's 14 Democrat House reps. So 13 of them voted for this to pass. So, I mean, this was unanimous to end this compact. So, but one thing I was reading through this Tribune, and it said, so Daley said this, in substance and symbol, it reflects the fact that we are one economy and one region working together. That made me want to choke a little bit because I think we're on the wrong path with Gary trying to operate like we're a Chicago suburb, operate under Chicago's umbrella. We work more with them than we work with our own state, and I think that needs to stop. And we have a system in our city where we attack Indianapolis and act like Indianapolis doesn't want to work with us. And that's not true. And these were numbers that I shared with you earlier of like the $40-some million that Indianapolis has put into our airport since 2006. Not to say that Chicago's not paying too, but I think Chicago has a price tag attached to what they're paying, because basically they're not going to say we're going to give you this money and then compete with us as much as you want. It's we'll give you this money, and this is just my opinion, but we give you this money and you take the breadcrumbs we offer you. And so, you know.
So do you have specifics on the 40 million plus that the state has given and what has that going towards?
Yes.
But this is good stuff.
Yeah. So 2006, the major moves funding was $20 million. In 2024-2025, there was a Ready grant of $1.2 million. That was for passenger terminal renovation. And then another Ready grant of $1.3 million for new hangar construction. In 2023, there was $9.8 million for a fuel distribution facility. And I also know that the state I think it's in the House bill that just came out, $10 million for another runway expansion. So, but
I think that's interesting.
Yes.
Because obviously everybody see value in the airport. So it's not like it's an asset where we have to be brain surgeons to figure out what to do. Of course, we allow it to either be monetized and we leverage it, like Councilman Washington said earlier, or in the other vein is we in compact and we try to monetize it organically ourselves as much as we can.
And the other part that I wanted to add too, that was in the Tribune, is when they were talking about the original deal being written, Chicago promised by state agreement preserve Chicago's control of revenue from O'Hare and Midway Airport, and Gary to receive more than Chicago promised to market Gary and steer cargo and passenger air carriers toward Gary. That hasn't happened. You know, we're not busy over here. You know, they fill up everything they have over there, and we get the breadcrumbs. Me personally, I think if we walked away from this compact and we worked with the state, I think the state would help us enough if we actually work with them to where we can compete with Chicago and take business from them. And I think that would really revitalize Gary.
So you think we need a little bit more economic independence in general as a municipality?
We do, but I also know that we don't just get there by a snap of our fingers.
But we need to have it.
And I think if we work with our own state will help get us there, rather than working within the guidelines of Chicago special interests.